Welcome back to another Deep Thoughts Whiskey Shots podcast. Of course, once again, I'm your host, James, with my boy.
It's me, Blade. Hi, you degenerate extraordinaire.
And of course, the producer, Bubblegum. Oh, man. Okay. How's everybody doing today? Y'all doing good? Everything been good? You guys have anything work good and all that stuff?
Yeah, doing all right. I actually worked a gun show, and we had the greatest omen ever happen to us.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned this before, but I kind of want to hear what you. So, what exactly do you mean the greatest omen? What exactly happened?
Well, before I explain that, I want to let you guys know something. Today, we're sucking down some Texas whiskey again, baby.
And tell them exactly what we're sucking on.
We're sucking on that Dickel right now. That Dickel Rye whiskey.
And that's the actual name.
It's really good, man. I love this stuff. There's also a Tabasco version, which
Boo.
is James' kryptonite. So in case you need to take him down, just bring some of that, and he'll go down like a baby with warm milk.
I'm gonna go down like Jake Paul when he fights Mike Tyson.
Ooh,
I made my prediction.
I don't think it's much of a prediction.
I mean, the thing is, at the end of the day, before we get into much, the dude is 26 to a 52-year-old. But I mean, Mike Tyson's a different human being. That's just my prediction. Like, have you seen him train? Yeah. He looks serious as shit. So I wouldn't want to fight the guy myself.
Anytime Mike Tyson's training, I mean, he's serious as shit. Because I mean, I'm sure everybody's seen that Joe Rogan before and after, right?
But that's what's crazy is he actually starts saying the same thing. He's like, "You've awakened the god of war in me. Ares has spoken to me in my dreams, and I'm here. I'm Jake Paul. I'm here.
The gods of war have told me to cross you, Jake Paul.
I don't want to do this, but Jake Paul, you're making me.
I'm sorry. It's just the gods of war."
Hey, we probably should stop mimicking Mike before he busts through our wall and punches us. We're fans, true. Mike. We're fans.
We love you. I love your show.
All of them. Well, whatever you do.
I got some bad news for y'all.
Oh fuck!
Dear God.
All right, we're gonna wrap this up one a little early.
So, like you were saying, now that we're back from running away for our lives,
I think we lost him, guys.
I hope so. No, he's always watching, but he's giving us a chance because he's a fan. So, what were you saying? You worked a gun show. What happened? What's the omen exactly that happened?
Before we go any further, cheers, gentlemen. Cheers, gentlemen.
To the Dickel.
We're gonna need it for this. All right. Oh, there we go. Some good Dickel right there.
Oh, that's a strong whiskey. Right.
So we had the guns in tow. It was early in the morning, and we're heading towards the gun show, right?
Right.
And we're taking the back roads just because it's going to be not busy at all. So we're just traveling on down, and we're kind of in the ghetto where we're driving down, right? And about 3 blocks away, I see this guy kind of hunched over, right?
Okay.
And I'm like, man, that's fucking weird.
No, you say hunched over, you mean like squat position or like bent over at the waist?
It kind of, like from that distance, it kind of looked like somebody punched him in the stomach and like robbed him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he was kind of like, oh,
I've been stabbed.
Yeah, something like that. And I'm like, oh shit, that I wouldn't put it past the area,
Where were you at?
I was in off Lancaster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
there you go.
Traveling down Lancaster towards Fort Worth.
There you go, guys.
And so we were heading down that way, and we get closer and closer and closer, and as we're about half a block away from him, right?
Yeah.
Both my boss and I are like, that man is shitting. He's just on the fucking sidewalk, just shitting into somebody's lawn and shit. And we're
fertilizing, Blade, fertilizing.
Right. Free fertilizer.
Oh, man.
And that was the greatest omen for the day.
Jesus, man.
Yeah. So we got to the gun show, no problem. Everything was great.
Someone had a problem.
Oh, he did. Hell yeah, he did. And then got there, unloaded everything, made it happen, started looking at people again. I was once again the NPC man.
Always.
I was
what
talking
you buying,
about the
stranger?
custom builds. Yeah. I was explaining everything. I custom built everything here. I QC'd and test fired everything.
No, whatever you need.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The Emperor of Mankind was there again.
No, the Rolling Thunder?
Yeah.
Nice.
6'2" rolling chair guy. He was there again.
You're gonna have to watch the other episodes to get that story, but it is one worth going back and watching. It's interesting to know nonetheless. But yeah, so Rolling Thunder was back.
Yeah, hey, it's wonderful. I love that guy.
Did you actually talk to him this time or just?
Nope. I nodded to him. I was like, sir.
Rolling Thunder? Rolling Thunder?
Yeah, so, man, there was some crazy shit that actually happened there. It was kind of shocking.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so I'm standing there doing my NPC bullshit, hello, and then some lady came running up to me frantically like it was some, like a random event.
Right.
You know, and she's like, sir, do you know where the office is, or an officer or a cop or somebody? And I'm like, whoa, okay, what's up? Some guy just offered to buy my child.
What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez, wow.
And I'm like, oh shit, there's a cop right there. Go get him. Hey, officer, you know, that kind of shit. And then like maybe 15, 20 seconds later, there's just like two cops on each aisle kind of going back and forth. But the lady didn't really describe them to me, so I didn't know what to look for.
Right.
And I was like, man, if I found that guy, he'd be in the trunk.
Crazy. Yeah, no shit,
know?
bro. Like, damn.
Wouldn't you think like a gun show would probably be one of the safest places to be at, where some of that stuff is tolerable?
I was literally about to say that. Like, there's like, I'm not saying there's a place to commit crimes and there's not places to commit crimes, but I wouldn't offer to buy someone's kid at a gun show where everybody's clearly armed and shit. Like
honestly, everybody's packing. I mean, granted, they're not all loaded, but I'm sure somebody there.
But the fact is like, here's the thing: is the fact is, you know, you got a whole bunch of Republican dudes that like are willing to just go crazy because, you know, right wing.
Oh,
shit.
you've given me rights.
I said it. I did it. Yeah, that was accidental.
Here it comes. Here you go. Give you these bullets.
But you get what I'm saying? Like, there's probably a lot of like white dudes just waiting for their moment, and that would have been a moment. Like, that's probably not the best place to commit a crime. I'm just saying.
Honestly.
But that's kind of damn. That's a hell of a day at work. That makes me think of like one day when I was working security at the old Texas Ranger Stadium, and then I think I might have mentioned this story once on the podcast, possibly. But this old Marine guy was using the bathroom, and like he scoped out this dude that was basically peeping at little kids and following him in the bathroom, and then like he came and told me, and then me and him basically chased the guy down, found him, saw him in there, and it was one of those things where it's like as soon as we saw it, you know, we told the cops, and the cops were like, well, don't do nothing drastic, don't do nothing, but it took everything not to just want to drive
Don't kill him, don't kill him.
Dude, it was one of those things like you followed him in the bathroom, like there's a kid right here in this stall in the urinal, and then he's right here just, you know, and it's like,
you fucking serious?
No, I wish I was playing. Yeah, and it's like, luckily this, hey man, hey old Marine man, I wish I remembered your name, but you were a hero that day because dude was a convicted pedophile, wasn't supposed to be within 50 feet of any children or school and shit like that, so he immediately got escorted off that premises and went to the underground jail thing that they have at the old stadium. That day was one of those things. It takes everything not to just want to drive your fist through the back of someone's head. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, dude, you sick bastard. Like, you just want to go crazy, but you can't at the same time. You know.
There are certain things that are just straight up hands on. Like,
like crossing that line. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, yeah, no shit. That's crazy though, because I actually had a crazy day at work too. Like, we had a random detective pop up today looking for a missing person. And,
oh, shit.
Yeah, dude, it was pretty wild. And they're like, oh, he's been missing since Saturday.
Oh, shit. Was it like a dead body thing?
That's what the way they kind of described it. They're like, the car drove in, but the car never drove back out. And we just want to make sure the guy's not like kidnapped or held hostage or some shit, I guess. Or the car was stolen and he was murdered or something like that.
Oh, shit. You're going to be on an episode of 48 Hours Later.
Bro, I wish. I went and took my lunch break whenever they were starting to figure all that shit out, and then I came back and like,
just make sure to plug the podcast first.
Yeah, no shit. Hey, Deep Thoughts Whiskey Shots, like, subscribe.
Anyways, I'm sorry that boy hasn't been found for the last 14 days.
Right.
Well, it wasn't a boy, but it was like an older dude, and what it was basically his wife had called saying a missing person report type thing, and dude was in there with his side piece, butt ass naked, when they had to open up the door with the detective, and he was
nice.
Like, he was just like, please don't tell my wife, like, tell her I was in the hospital. And the detective was like, nah, bro, I can't do that. Like, that's not the way this works.
Was it like a city detective, or was it like a PI?
That's a good question, because he kind of rolled up in like a big truck, but it wasn't like marked, I don't think, but he was wearing a badge right here, so I think he was just a detective. It might have been more like
wizard.
It might have been more of a PI type.
Oh, he's a fucking wizard.
Which one I'm talking
I know which one you're talking about. Hot damn. I fucking love that you're reading those books, bro. Like, oh my god, I love finding people who love the Jim Butcher series, the Dresden Files.
Hey,
I'm gonna drink because I just played the board game that one time.
Yeah.
Blame Alex.
No, good. It's a good thing. It's a real good thing.
Pretty solid books.
I love those books.
I need to pick it back up though.
Wait until you get to the later books. They're even better.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
If you guys out there know what the Dresden Files is, I love you too. It's a pretty awesome book series.
Yeah. Anyways, So speaking of a hard day at the office, imagine being a Pornhub or a TikTok employee and figuring out everything's about to get banned and all that shit. Did you see all about all that?
Oh yeah.
Bada bing,
Bada boom.
Woo!
Whoa, he tizzed out.
That was funny.
This guy. But yeah, no.
What's
like,
in that gum? I want some of that.
yeah, apparently cocaine or something.
I was kidding. I don't want any of that. That scared me.
Hey, you don't want this.
Dewey Cox, you don't want this
You
gum.
don't want this gum.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I'm gonna just believe you on that.
This
But,
shit's good though.
but
You
yeah,
want some.
I was like on Facebook or something like that, and I saw this thing about the TikTok ban. Well, because we have our TikTok, so they sent emails like, "You can speak out, you can be a voice for the people. Tell them you don't want TikTok banned in America." And then like scrolling through Facebook or one of those, they were talking about the Pornhub ban. It was like I didn't get to see a whole lot because it was a screenshot of the file, but. Lucky for you, our local degenerate was on the scene with some reporting. So what did the Pornhub ban have to say, Blade?
I was just about to say, just so happens I was firsthand on the scene there. Jim.
First hand on this.
I was there.
He tried to be the first hand.
That's true. I was trying to be first and second hand. If you catch my drift.
So
anyway,
FD handed.
So if we can just specify, before we even knew this was going to be a topic on the podcast, Blade was already doing personal research and finding out for himself is what we're trying to say here, fellas.
It's true. It surprised me because, I was like, "Ooh, I'm home alone.
I got a moment.
Excellent. I have some privacy."
It's like being 13 all over again and just
Honestly.
discovering the first time, like, oh, I got 5 minutes by myself.
Yeah, honestly. And so there I was, pantless, hoodie on because I like that balance of warmth,
Vaseline in your hand.
I got a comment to
Not
make, but
Vaseline.
I want you to finish yours first.
I like using that generic brand of lotion.
Good lord.
It's cheap and works just as good.
Jergen.
No, it's Jergen with a G instead of a J. It's
Jergen.
Jergen.
Jergen. All right, go on.
But anyway, yeah, so I was like, all right, there I was, hoodie on, pantless, and I'm like, all right, cool.
I like how the hoodie has to be on.
It does. It keeps the balance. I told you that already.
Yeah, you did say this.
You typed in Pornhub, and then the fucking warning popped up, and I was like, the fuck is this? And I
Dick immediately got shut off.
Exactly. And I was like, all right, time to read. And then I started reading it, and it's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
Well, it's not cool. It kind of sucks because it's kind of like profiling people and bullshit like that.
Right.
But
so what exactly is the point? Because I kind of read something on the side, and I like what. But I mean, you actually read the whole thing, right? So like, what's the deal?
Part.
What's their deal?
Basically, they don't agree with it, but they're going to comply, and they said that you need to get out there and vote about it.
Oh, wow.
That's really the sum of it. So, and those states that are affected at the moment are Texas, Utah, Arkansas, Virginia, Montana, and North Carolina.
Damn. I mean, a lot of people in Utah got multiple wives, so I don't know if they're really worried about porn ban anyways.
That's true.
I mean, they got multiple wives, but somehow less options.
In a weird way. Yeah, I guess so.
But that's ultimately what it is, and there's a lot of creators that are supporting Pornhub and stuff like that. And there's also a lot of people that are creating things and like creating profiles, not things, but
Can I take a hot take on this?
Sure.
Yeah.
Not in regards to the.
Well, hold on, real quick before you take your hot take. So, is the whole thing like you have to? From when I read it, they're basically wanting you to create an account like before you can log in. Like you can no longer go in privately and all this and that.
Yeah, but it's all in like the name of safety is what they say. But that whole give an inch, take a yard kind of bullshit.
But I mean, so what's their point? To make sure you're not underage looking at porn, or
yeah, so that way there's nobody underage.
Well, we all did that. You can't stop it. I mean, we just scroll the age dial back.
I mean, I don't think any time in history where any sort of prohibition has happened has actually worked. I mean, literally look back at the alcohol prohibition. It just made more crime.
Exactly. It just creates more underground operations. Exactly.
I mean, if anything, all you're going to have is just some, like, you'll have a couple squares that are like, damn, I can't lie about my age on the internet. But then, most people are going to be like, fuck that. Yeah, I was born in 1930. And let me see my porn. Like, they're not going to stop themselves. I mean,
there's
what the hell?
There's going to be an increase in hooking.
That too, yeah. It's about to be prostitution and shit might go way up.
Yeah. Next time we're out, and it's gonna be like, "Hey, sweet cheeks, $30."
Well, we better go up for this episode.
No,
we better go up for this episode. Otherwise, our wives and fiancés ain't gonna let us go out. They're gonna be so worried about shit.
We never accept.
I'm good.
That's true. I mean, obviously not. Like, I never accept nothing. I'm married. You're whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like
I appreciate it though.
You know how some girls, how some women can be when they really want you, and you just like don't even look at my man. It's like she was like, oh, look at
I
that,
know.
yeah,
I
this
know.
is crazy, you know.
We have stories.
I be telling that to my wife all the time. I was like, look, just because you think I'm something, don't mean everybody does. They might be like, oh, look at that big bastard. I mean, just it doesn't anything
that
personal.
big, gorgeous bastard.
I don't know about the gorgeous part, but just you know, but yeah, and then see that seems to be what the TikTok one is a little bit more. I feel like that. Well, you had a hot take. So what was your hot take?
That was going to be what it was.
To the TikTok.
Yeah, the TikTok one. Good. I don't. Yeah, get fucking rid of that shit. Like, this ain't doing anybody good.
I would-
Especially if it's proven to be a data mining thing.
That's
Yeah.
my main thing
Yeah.
about it. But other than like the more cerebral, nasty effects it's been having on a lot of younger people, especially, like
Right.
blame the how do I say this? Blame the people consuming the creators. Let me cut this out. Blame the people consuming the content and not the people supplying that demand. Obviously.
It's 50-50 because I mean,
Sure.
like, you don't just because they ask for dumb shit doesn't mean you have to necessarily give them dumb shit. Like, look, we got a TikTok, so I really don't want them to ban it per se. I feel like you need to put more restrictions. You got to, like other countries like Russia and China, their TikToks are teaching people stuff.
No.
But like,
It's gonna just push to something else. All those people are just gonna flood somewhere else. Again with the prohibition thing, right? Like it doesn't cut the problem off. It just leaves
Right.
a vacant void. I think our delivery's here.
uh-oh.
Alex, come in.
Yay, snacks.
Special guest delivery.
She got snacks.
We got snacks. We're becoming a real production.
Hell yeah.
She's got the headphones on like a PA.
Oh, look at her.
Nice.
Intern Alex here. Oh, Cinder packing.
So I got
Cinder packing.
Fuck yeah.
All right, cookies, protein cookies.
Hell yeah.
What the fuck?
Fuck yeah, dude.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
There you go, bud.
Thank you,
I
sir.
got honey roasted pistachios.
All right, so thanks, Alex. We're recording, Alex.
Hey, let the
Our lovebirds.
Hey, actually.
That was perfectly in sync. Brother moment. High five. Yes.
That's a bad high five though.
Anyways, so yeah, but like the thing about the TikTok thing is like if you look at the way other countries are handling it and whatnot, like I don't say necessarily blame or ban because I mean like what you choose to like how do I say this? What you choose to absorb in content, that's up to you. Nobody can put a gun to your head
Yes
and say,
no,
watch
because
this.
they are pushing like if it's based strictly so on the algorithm, like yeah, you can look for these kinds of things. But the way things are being discovered, the way that this podcast is hopefully going to get discovered is because it's on the algorithm. It's going to be the next swipe up, and it's like, who are these three guys? Like that's how that shit works. Now, it's such a slippery slope here, and I'm going to be talking on my ass completely, and I'm talking as a consumer. But like, the rabbit hole is so hard to escape. Is it my willpower? Probably. But like, it seems to be a big problem with a lot of people right now.
Right.
That
I
is
mean, I've
just-
seen it firsthand because, like, I mean, there's times my wife
It's-
get on
it's-
TikTok and just start scrolling. Just,
It's
you know.
literally a slot machine of like, I'm waiting to win. I'm waiting to win.
Yeah.
The problem is you never win like a slot machine. You're always waiting that next dopamine hit. Like it's really bad. I don't like the way it's structured. That's my main thing. If it goes away, I don't care.
Right.
Even though that we're on TikTok, so to speak, like we'll
Yep.
find another way to promote this shit. Don't let the platform be the deterrent of why this won't be successful. That's what I always think.
I mean, the main thing is what we want you all to ultimately do is wherever you see this, subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's going to be the main driving force. You can find the full episodes at all times. But I don't know. I'm just one of those people. Like, I don't feel like there should be a whole lot of laws on even drugs and shit. Like, let the people have their choices. Like if you can't control yourself to be able to make your own decisions, then that's on you as a man or woman or a grown adult. Obviously have restrictions on, like I said, kids and shit. You don't want kids
Yeah.
shooting up or nothing like that on the street corners more than they
And
already
like-
are in the world. But
To your point as well, right? Like, and to the prohibition side of things too. If it's not there, that lust for that type of content or even that type of like format is going to be found somewhere else. Somebody else is going to make it. I guarantee you, if like there's no TikTok in 6 months, there's going to be a TikTok clone And,
Of course.
like immediately, they're already probably working on it. It's going to go up, and then people are going to sign. I mean, it's whatever.
Yeah, especially if they even announce, oh yeah, we're having a vote on this date.
Yeah.
Then hell yeah, they get working on it just in case.
Like because it exists now, there's always going to be something like it forever.
But if you think about it, like TikTok is a clone of like Vine, and Vine was a clone of fucking what was that, WorldStar? If you really think about it, like it's all been
Kind of
something
like
else.
WorldStar and Twitter.
I think
put together.
was it?
And now everything has
Musically?
reels.
Musically,
Something like that. That was one of the other ones.
Musically was the original TikTok, or that's what it evolved from.
They were bought
Right.
out. It's
Yeah.
a ByteDance that owns.
Oh,
it.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But I mean, now everything
a
has
Chinese
reels.
government-owned company, by the way.
But that's the thing is like now
Oh, yeah,
everything
that's
has
right, man.
reels.
Look at that shit. Oh, Jim.
What'd you say?
I don't know. He just he knows shit. That's all.
Oh yeah, no, it's
he
good
just
to know.
knows shit.
But yeah, no, just the fact that it's like I said, it's got to be the people's choice. Like you have to have the willpower. It's like anything at all. Like I understand things are hard. Like from drugs to unhealthy lifestyle to just bad habits. Like it's hard to break that shit. But at the same time, like everything requires your willpower. If you're just going to be a slave to the moment and whatever's in front of you, then that's on you. To me.
Well, then I do kind of have like a side tangent question, if you don't mind. I don't know how off track you want to go. What do you think about like addiction being a disability, even specifically like in the workplace, where it's considered a disability? What do you think about that?
Like
I know
Man,
that's a
wild.
really tough
that's
question.
tough. Yeah, because I don't want to sound like I'm talking out of my ass where I'm like it's up to you, but like I do understand like addiction. Like we've all had our vices and things that have had a grip on us one way or another. You know, whether you were logging on to Pornhub because you have to yank it 15 times a day, or if you've
Man.
done drugs and stuff. Like
I was about to bring that up actually.
Yeah,
like
but-
it depends on the severity and type of
what's your addiction? Yeah, I mean, because here's the thing: if you really think about it, and here's a concept for you to comment on that. Like, what's the one addiction we all have that we need to survive, but is actually really dangerous?
Food.
Exactly.
Food.
So,
Oh.
like, yeah, like so food. Like, if you think about that, we all love. I mean, look at us. We're snacking on this fucking podcast right now. Like, we're all
Yeah.
eating protein
Nom nom.
cookies and pistachios and shit. But it's like,
Pistachios.
yeah, this came out really weird. But my point being, like, we all have vices. You know what I mean? Like, we've all done things, seen people do things, and we had to make a decision. It's like if you see someone snort coke in the bathroom, do you choose to do it or not? That's on you. If you see someone with a needle in your arm, do you take that needle or do you make your own decisions? You know, when you read a story, do you read the headline or do you read the whole thing? Like everything has a decision and a consequence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're just living in this concept of hyper reality at this point. The actual term looked into it is really interesting. We're like, is this a symptom of even back then, or is this a symptom of now because everything is so hyper stimulating? You know what I'm saying? Like, would there
I think
have
it's
been
the latter.
the latter?
Both, honestly. But you explain your point and I'll explain mine. Go ahead.
So there's a lot more things that we have to deal with nowadays. Like
That's a fact. Yeah.
like compare how we grew up, right? We grew up with like, well, okay, let me say me then, because I grew up in East Texas, grew up in the city too. So, and there's also that point in time where in elementary we started using those Apple computers, you know, the really
Right.
colorful ones.
Right.
And
They looked cool, but were shit.
yeah, exactly. And before, I think that was like,
98, 99 type shit. Yeah.
yeah, somewhere around
Yeah.
there.
Dying on the
Excuse me,
podcast
yeah, the fucking pistachios are attacking me.
from the insides.
Hell yeah. So I remember not having computers, and then those computers come out.
Right.
And it's like, oh, cool, computers are awesome.
Right.
And then technology changed.
Yeah.
Like, technology changed.
Ever evolving. Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, growing up with the whole different generations of technology and stuff like that, and where we're at now. And then there's even more for children nowadays. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Like,
It seems
we
really
are
hard.
having the first generation of like what they're calling iPad babies.
Right.
Of like, and a lot of it's kind of a symptom of COVID, where it's like that child didn't get to socialize with anybody other than their families because they were just like with them from the start and like 3 years
All
later.
day, everything. Yeah.
All day, every day, right? It's stifling a lot of social growth.
Right. No.
Like I feel stifled as a 25-year-old, but that I can't imagine being a kid right now. That sounds like hell.
But here, okay, so here's my point to all that is like I feel like every generation's had their own thing to deal with though. Like that's the thing is like, well, yes, we have more, But okay, think about when the very first
It's
cell phone.
overall better.
Yeah. I mean, like that's the thing is like our lives are like we can go to the doctor and like they can basically diagnose you to a point, like 90% or whatever, 99% of what you have. Like they can figure it out after enough tests. Back in the day, it was kind of like, well, maybe you got cancer.
Up in
Like,
the air.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot more guesswork. And then even before that, it was like, yeah, he's going to die unless we attach leeches to his chest, you know? So, I mean, it was like everything's had a moment. And like the addiction, always, like, I mean, think about people were stupid addicted to opium where they spent all day, every day in there.
Yeah.
Now, people are still addicted to opium.
Yes, they are.
That ain't changed. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Yeah, the intake is just different.
Yeah, how
Now
they
it's
do
more
it.
Pill.
Yeah, but the point of the fact is it's always been there. I mean, I saw a little thing where earlier where they were like this dude in the 15th century, they found a what do you call those things? A terrarium or you know what I'm saying?
A
little
terrarium.
terrarium, and it was basically two frogs. And
That was not
I said
existent.
Still didn't say it right.
yeah, I was just,
Terrarium.
what he said. But
Come on, man,
the
do
point
it.
the point is there was like two frogs with rapiers, and one of them was stabbing the other one in the chest. And it's like it's good to know
Oh
we've
yeah, I
always
know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. Like it's like one of those things. Like, oh, it's good to know we've always made memes and dumb shit. Like they found cave drawings where it was like dumb memes. If you really translate it, we're like, ooh, you know. So
I want to
like,
see ancient memes of like top text, bottom text. It's just like
Oh,
it's like
awesome.
a dog and
It's just
then like
been in our DNA.
hieroglyphics.
it's just been in our DNA. We didn't realize that's
That'd
all
be
it was.
hilarious.
Even
all the
better if it was
Egyptians-
a Doge.
What if all the Egyptian shit? That's all it was. Is we think they're these like really important hieroglyphs, but it's like just.
I mean, dude,
memes.
they were the first ones that they were like worshiping cats,
I
and
mean,
like
yeah.
now the cat videos are. Well, I mean, not now, like mid 2000s, but still, cats are funny internet things. Fucking Egyptians figured that out 3,000 years ago.
They knew cats were funny back then.
Yeah, they weren't gods; they were just laughing at them.
Look at this cat being a dick. But yeah, I mean, but that's so that kind of brings me to my thing. Like the addictions level change, but it's always something. Like think about when, like obviously we don't know, but if you're in the caveman area and you discovered a hunt, think about how addicting that must have felt. Like, oh, I got to find me another hunt. Like, yeah, it was survival based, but you're
An
still
adrenaline
addicted to
junkie.
something. But you're still addicted to it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
something still hit and still triggered.
I don't think it's addicting though, because like it's just like you're gonna die if you don't do it. That's
Okay.
not an addiction.
But think about like working out, right? Like
Sure.
you when you start getting into a steady groove and you start seeing improvement, you get addicted to it. Like, yeah, I want to do this more and more. Like, I don't know. I was at a point where I was working out 3 hours a day every day, and if I didn't go, I felt like total dog shit. Like it wasn't until like I
I was
lost my
there,
drive
too.
for other reasons, but that's
Yeah.
just why I was. You know, like I couldn't not do something. Like even now, like even though if I'm not at the gym or lifting weights or whatever, I have to be active.
There's something to
Right.
be said, and not to deter from that, but there is something to be said. The food thing, right? Saying
Right.
something you have to have, or you will die. Unfortunately, and food addiction is probably the most common one,
I mean, yeah.
especially now with processed shit and everything. But sugar is really the thing that's addicting.
Oh, yeah.
Sugar.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's in everything.
Salt is the thing that's addicting. That's
Mhm.
what they call the bliss point, right? Traditionally, you couldn't find that everywhere, so that's why they are addicting, is
Yeah.
because the craving for that stuff, right?
Shit,
You-
like
you-
salt and sugar was like worth more than gold at one point in
Yeah,
time
I
or
mean,
something like that.
And the whole thing with like how Paleolithic humans used to react is like fruits were seasonal. You go
Right.
find like an apple tree
The fig.
and like or a fig tree or something,
Yeah.
right? And then it's like, all right, I'm going to eat all of these, and my tribe's going to be fat for like a week,
Right.
and then we're going to go run and kill a gazelle, and we're good.
Right.
But you can find that shit all the time now.
Are gazelles and apples in the same nation? I'm just curious.
I mean, I'm just making.
I just want to know. You
But
know?
like, but you know what I'm saying, right? And here's another point too, right?
Yeah.
Like the modern, the prehistoric banana was as sweet as a carrot is now.
Yep.
Like this shit is getting even worse for you. Even the natural foods are not good for you, so to speak, to eat all the time. So like, what is right? What is wrong? We've been fed a lot of fucking bullshit for the last, especially 150 years.
It's all
Honestly,
about
yeah.
balance.
So
man.
it's like, well, I mean, yeah, balance, sure, but if that doesn't even exist,
But I mean,
like,
think about
where
what-
do you find it?
Think about what the
Right.
food pyramid looked like when we were growing up versus what it looks like now.
That was designed to get people fattened up in World War I and II.
And yeah, we were still reading that shit in early
Like
2000s,
it's
late
gospel.
90s. Yeah, that's crazy.
Gain
Let me-
weight, baby. Gain weight.
So that brings me into okay. So let me segue into something else that I've
Sure.
been hearing about. So they've been talking about like I know I've brought it up a lot and about the AI and all this and that and the computer stuff, and that's one thing that's just really got my attention. I'm always real focused on, right? So we're talking about this addiction and shit like that. They say that like certain execs in like Google and other high tech companies were saying that like by 2039 or something like that. That basically AI will be able to do everything that we can do artistically in terms of drawing, creating music, create art, all that kind of stuff. And they said by like 2050, we're all going to be basically chipped in an AI hive mind, more or less. When does the addiction get to the point where it's like, oh, I got to have the access to everything and da da da. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that going to lead into another level of addiction? Like, I got to have the next upgrade, the next this, the next that, the next this.
Information addiction and like upgrade addiction.
I mean, that already exists now. If you think about, oh, the new iPhone's out. Oh, the new, you know what I'm saying? People are already like that. So when it's like it built into you, how much worse is that going to really be?
Think about imposter syndrome and shit like that.
Oh, Jesus, that's going to be even worse and crazy.
Think about having information in general, like right then and there, right? Like,
yeah.
It's so much easier and less gratifying to find something that you're actually passionate and interested about. Like, you'd have to open up a book, go to the library, like write notes.
No, you wouldn't. Shit. All you have to do is think about it and you got every information you need. Oh, yeah. You
had to put in the work. Sorry.
If you were actually interested in something, you actually had to put in the work to learn about it. Like, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. That's to say that, like, it's cool. We have just about everything you can learn about at the touch of a button, but it almost means nothing at this point. It's like we're blessed beyond everything, and like for some reason we've been convinced at this point. It's like, yeah, but who cares? It's just what it is.
Nihilist attitude or whatever.
It's very nihilistic, right? Like, it was like, fucking run with this shit. You can be literally anything.
Anybody.
The information's there. You don't got to go to college anymore. That's one thing, too. Yeah. College used to be reserved to get that information. Now you can find it on a fucking tablet, you know?
No. I mean, dude, there was this one dude that got a job coding for Elon Musk at the age of 19 because he took the online Harvard classes from 14 to whatever and just was passionate about coding. And he said he took the Harvard online on YouTube, and then there was some Indian dude that did like really in-depth coding with every kind of program. He just watched the episodes every day, learned how to code, submitted a thing to Elon Musk. He got hired. You know what I mean? It's like crazy shit like that. You look at this nerdy little white kid, but hey, he's making probably great money at 19 coding, you know, like shit.
Or you could do like those stories I'm sure you guys have heard of where dudes just walk into classes and learn.
Just actually learn?
Oh,
yeah.
I see. I know what you're talking about. Just like
they're not members of the school or anything like that. They just dress up like they're going.
Have a backpack on.
Exactly. And they just sit there and learn.
I mean, I used to think that whenever I went to community college, it was like, damn, anybody just walk up in this motherfucker. Like, ain't nobody. If you had a backpack and whatever, you just walk into a class. Like, they don't call attendance per se because really the professors don't give a fuck. They're getting paid. It's like, if you're here, you learn, you're here. If you're not.
Well, those couple semesters I was in college, I went to different classes just to kind of sit and hang out. Nobody asked me anything. I was just there.
You got to go to a big enough one, though. Like, if it's a smaller class, obviously you can't get into, like,
it was a community college, but, still fun.
No, but he's saying, like, if it's, like, a specific lab, they're going to be like, who the fuck are you? You know, like, if it's a specific thing,
We did have people, like, strolling into the music department trying to pick up instruments, and that's different. You know?
Yeah, I mean, that's more like a club. Like, everybody here is a musician.
It's like, we know each other here.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, wait.
I'm a drummer. No, you're not. Go away.
Hold on, let me see your schedule, motherfucker.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. So shit like that. But yeah, that just kind of makes me think, like, so the pros of something like that is, so here's what's funny to me, is like, whenever you hear like real genius experts talk on a subject, it's crazy to me, and maybe it's just my perception, but it's like they never see the negatives of potential of something. Like this one dude I heard talking about this AI thing, he was just talking about like, oh, the AI will help us be able to create better art and push us to create better music, and we'll be able to look at people's medical histories better, and we could communicate people without ever having to, let me send a message to Spencer with my mind. Hey, dude, don't forget podcast at da-da-da, ding, and then he gets the message instantly. And then it's like the opposing view is like, yeah, but what if the wrong hands get that technology? What if they learn how to hack into a person? What if
we've
whatever
gained informational intelligence and
hold on one second
along the way? But
hold on one second. But this is what's crazy to me is that this guy that was intelligent is like, as he's hearing all these negative things, he's like, well, why would anybody do that? Like, our intelligent like. His perspective is our intelligence would increase to the point where there's no reason for violence. It's like we're all on a certain platform, a certain level. But it's like us thinking on this level, it's like, if I have the advantage on you for any reason, at some point in time, if I want to use it, I'm going to use it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? At any given time, if I could just shut your brain off as like, I'm disagreeing with what Blade's got to say today. Boom. And then turn them off. You know what I mean? Like, boom. almost as turned off as much as the Pornhub band. But like, he's just it could be that simple. But like, yeah, like
Have we not discovered yet that criminals are always a step ahead of us?
I mean, that's the thing. Like a really good criminal is always a step ahead.
Or
You'll never actually catch the
syndicate,
real
whatever.
good ones. Yeah. But at the same time, whenever you have that life, like you only got so much of the life of the king of the crown, it's only so long. You know what I mean? Like you're eventually going to get caught, but you do have to stay like a step ahead, at all times.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that it's just got to be one. There's hundreds. Like
No, yeah,
look at the
somebody
deep
learns
net.
from somebody and keeps it moving.
Yeah, absolutely.
You also can't get greedy and quit while you're ahead. That's all.
Yeah.
This was a bad snack break point. I thought y'all could
Oh,
keep
yeah.
talking for a minute.
Oh,
and shit.
okay. He's eating a Quest cookie.
Anyways, on that note, Putin elected to his 5th term unanimously. Did you see that shit?
Oh, well, congratulations to Putin.
No.
Shit's fucking wild.
Apparently, it was like 87 or 83%, something like that. Like, it was a ridiculous number.
87.3%.
Okay, yeah, ridiculous
that
number.
Sounds accurate, yes.
But you know what's wild is actually on the way to doing this, I was listening to a news thing, and they were talking about like some of the people he was running against randomly fell off of buildings and randomly came down sick and shit like that, like his major opposition and stuff.
Yep.
And apparently, there's a lot of rebellious raids going on in Russia. Like they
Yep.
were not happy about this, but he won unanimously. So it's really
They take voter fraud very seriously over in Russia. They're like,
The irony.
yeah, I know,
Right.
right? And it's crazy because this 5th term, right?
right.
He's going to last until 2030. That's the end of the term.
They do Sixers?
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
apparently. And so...
So he would be in office for 30 years at this point?
Yes.
Yeah, his 5th
30
term, 6
years.
years,
Are
30
you
years.
fucking
The
serious?
most of any Russian leader, by the way.
That's
Think that's-
damn near a king.
That's pretty
Yeah,
much the
Longer
most
than
from
Stalin.
or a dictator. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
How long was Stalin's?
20 something? 23, 24. Yeah. So, I don't know, but it was in the 20s.
Is
And he's been elected. That's the
Yeah,
crazy
air
part.
quote.
Stalin was just in charge. He was straight communism in charge. You will not get
Oh,
me
yeah.
out this chair until someone killed him.
I'll let y'all dictate if you want to keep this in the podcast, but do y'all think Russia is a silent communist country still?
Of course.
Yeah.
They're okay, look. It's basically America, but a lot more cloak and dagger, but more dagger than
But see,
cloak.
that's the thing is
I
I think
gotcha.
I don't even know if it's more cloak and dagger. It's just on our end is more cloak and dagger because there's like there was a news thing where the ladies they were literally laughing at us because of like the TikTok shit that we consume and
Yeah.
certain information. They're like, oh, the dumb Americans can't do their own research to find out this is fake or this or this or
would
this or
be
that.
very illegal there, yes?
Yep.
I mean, unless we were sponsored by the state to do it, yeah.
Well, and then at that point, it's not our podcast, it's theirs.
No, we're literally being paid because they think we have a good enough voice or we're attractive enough or this or that or we can get the right amount of people and whatever it is. And they would push it to force you. They'd be like,
So, I mean, come on, comrades.
this motherfucker.
No.
Shit.
Nope, never.
But yeah, no, but I saw some crazy videos of like people looking like they're gonna, because like they have these big bins in the middle where it's just clear and like paper, so like you could see how people vote if you really wanted to, if you wanted to get down there and look. But it's like these people were dropping their votes in the bins and then taking like black spray paint with the the long tip needle thing, and just and then like all the votes got covered in black, and like apparently there's raids all over the place, like. And he's been threatening with all this nuclear shit left. Like, we're heading towards some really dark. Like, we might have started this podcast a little late because it's about to be in the world. So you might as well like and subscribe now for us, brother, because who knows, But like, yeah, it's a wild. Just like, no, but if you think about it, like, it's some crazy shit going on. Like, I don't know if you've kept up with all of it, but like, dude, he just released something. Hold on, let me see if I got it still. Though you keep going. I'm gonna see if I still got the headline. I'm not gonna read the whole story,
we should
but
be, to be completely honest.
What do you mean?
Very involved and rebellious, like the way the birth of our country was.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about weak people, weak-minded?
I mean, we
Is
still
that,
do
like-
that, but for the wrong reasons.
Well, yeah, naturally, right? Like, oh, my Szechuan sauce at McDonald's.
How dare you?
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
like some dumb shit. God, I don't know how controversial I want to get about this because I can.
Yeah, I know. This is one of those controversial
Because
topics.
it's really tough,
so.
touchy. There's a lot of topics in current politics that's like
All right,
really
well-
shouldn't be bitching about. You know what I'm saying?
well, anyway,
No, I agree.
so real quick to the
We
Russian
don't
thing.
really have any means to touch on it. but-
Exactly. So we will not touch it.
But so the thing I was just reading is basically Putin's making like some real stark, like, we will go to war, we will do this, we will launch missiles, we will, like, if you piss us off, we're going to go crazy. Like, even his own people are like, hey, man, you might want to calm the fuck down, like, you're getting a little wild. So, like, I mean, it's I don't know how much of a coup there may be, or if there's such thing as like a potential Russian civil war. But it sounds like some shit's getting crazy. You know what I mean? Nonetheless,
Yeah. I mean, Putin is 77.
is he really?
Yep.
Damn, that dude's fucking in shape for 77. No bullshit.
For real.
Like that. That is a reason he's
He's a doughy man.
I don't know about. Is he still a doughy man? I thought
Yes.
the last picture I saw, he was like on
Those are
steroids.
doctored.
I believe it, but I mean, even the pictures you see him walking, like you've seen White Putin. That motherfucker's got short.
So is he just Russian Trump?
That's what it sounds like. I mean, by that standards, that's what it sounds like.
We're also touching territory that I'm not super familiar with.
I mean, I'm not a political person like that.
Just
like that. It's
remember
just,
our comments from before. It's take it with a grain of salt.
everything's
It's
with
all
a grain of
fun.
salt. Yes. Most of us don't know what side of the fucking political spectrum we run on. We just make fun of everything. Just chill the fuck
Green
out.
party all day.
I do believe this is episode 9. I think if I got that right.
Something like it'd be around there, yeah.
What do you say at episode 10? We do a like no serious shit.
Nothing at all.
No, I mean no, not nothing at all. Let's do something different. Let's not make it so news based.
I mean,
Shit's
okay.
depressing.
No, I mean, but
agree.
this is just what it is. We got to go into the deep thoughts and then make fun of the shit.
Absolutely,
You know,
absolutely.
But we'll come up with something like episode 10. We'll play a game or some shit like that where it's just all storytelling,
It'll be
making some shit up or something.
James and Blade playing Yu-Gi-Oh. You got the tins.
I mean, if we have to, I have to dust them out somewhere. But yeah.
So to finish this all out, right?
Well, real quick, did you hear about the Angola shit?
That's what I was about to talk about.
Yeah, that
you
shit
go.
was wild. That bro, the fact that so basically 50 people died by offing themselves drinking a mysterious liquid due to witchcraft in Angola, and it's like,
You know what's
damn.
even better about that? I got even more details about that.
Did you? Okay,
Yeah.
so go on.
So that potion that they drank, right,
Right.
was like a that area's test of fucking testing people if they did witchcraft or not. Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I kind of did a little more research in that because I found that very interesting. Like, damn,
Right.
these motherfuckers died because they drank some shit like the Kool-Aid from Jamestown or Jonestown.
Jonestown, yeah.
Jonestown.
And Jamestown was in Virginia. They all disappeared too.
That's true.
History for you,
Hold on.
baby.
I had to write this down because let's see.
Hey, you need to get that in the
Let's
mic
see.
a little better, please.
Hold on. Let's see. Is that
you.
good? Is
Yeah,
that good enough?
thanks.
Okay,
Thanks,
cool.
boss.
Good. Sorry about that, guys. I had to sound check some shit. So,
Some shit.
Mlungo. Mlungo is what they drank. Is what my paper here says.
Say it one more time for me.
Mlungo. I'm gonna look at you too. Mlungo.
Now slow that down and play it slowly in your ears.
Mlungo.
So did it say what was in the damn thing, or
It did not mention what it is. It is
Okay.
just a fucking concoction that is made for testing people.
so it was like wasn't the thing is like if you survived it, you're a witchcraft like type shit or something like that?
No, if you die, you did witchcraft.
So they fed
This
you
is-
poison. It's basically the Salem witch trials all
That's
over
exactly-
again.
Yeah, this is the fucking Monty Python bit where they's like, she weighs the same as a duck. She must be a duck.
Yeah. Yes, exactly that.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is. And so this stuff that I went further into it, right? I was like,
Right.
okay, what the fuck is this stuff? It's basically a poison.
I mean,
It's
that's what it
basically a
sounds
poison.
like. Yeah.
And I love that the tradition is, oh, we know you're a fucking witchcraft person, but just in case, we're gonna fucking poison
It's
you
crazy.
and
There's
kill
also
you.
8
Yeah.
billion witches on planet Earth.
Apparently,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
and we're all
8 billion.
witchcraft. Yeah,
According to that African town.
that's
in
crazy
Angola.
because that's basically saying like, hey, eat this block of that rat poison.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
die, you practice witchcraft. Like
That was the other crazy part, was it's a part of their society. It's not like, this cult fucking got together and drank a potion and then they died. It's not like Jonestown at all.
wow.
It's the government is Jonestown, and they're like, "Oh, you guys are witchcraft, witchcraft users. So drink this potion. If you live, you didn't do
So
witchcraft."
like a government force thing, or
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah,
wow.
It's part of their
Blade.
tribe thing.
Blade, we've had suspicion that you might be practicing witchcraft. Eat this block of rat poison
Exactly.
now.
Exactly.
If you die, you practice
Eat it.
witchcraft.
Eat
This
this
ain't-
specific brew.
This
Yeah.
ain't a joke.
That's what's crazy.
Why are you
like,
laughing?
because, but that makes you think of.
Will you hand me that gun over there?
You started to get too
Yes.
serious for the podcast. But like that's the thing is like think about like all the other crazy like I don't want to say third world, but like just crazy traditions in other places. Because like even in England, like they have that game where they roll a giant cheese wheel down a
Oh
mountain.
man,
Yeah.
that sounds fun.
What
to
kind
be
of
a part
Wallace
of.
and Gromit bullshit are you talking about?
That's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
Serious?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so like I think it's supposed to be they roll a ginormous wheel of cheese, and you have to like try to beat the wheel of cheese without falling over, running down the hill.
First
But-
one down wins money and a cheese block.
And that cheese block that just rolled down the hill. You get that specific cheese block that just rolled. That's what's crazy.
That is a nuisance. That's not a.
Yeah,
That's not a prize.
Yeah, but it's like a specific town, like Lindenberg or whatever. But they
Spain.
love it. Yeah, whatever.
Spain has a
The
weird
running
one,
with the
running
bulls?
of the bulls. That's
Yeah,
fucking
that's
wild.
That's some
That is some-
machismo shit, though.
Yeah, that's
cool.
some alpha Chad shit.
Hey,
honestly.
yo, I run this bull, man. You know, there's some crazy
Orale,
shit.
Gloria, check this out.
Hey, baby, I outrun this bull,
Look how
man.
fast I am.
A little west, but okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
right.
shit. Dude, that's like, dude, like even on a way darker scale, like even like those ancient like cultures that like believed in the warriors hadn't the young male warriors hadn't ingest semen, you know, from the older warriors, just to
right.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like I know
Traditional
there's some shit
Bushido.
like that, dude, where it's like.
You talking Rome? Is this like some
I
Rome?
mean,
shit?
Rome, Rome. I
Yeah.
mean, even that, like Sparta or whatever, all that shit. Like, there's so many crazy cultural things. I mean, it's like,
It's. I really genuinely don't know what to say.
I mean, what can you say? I mean, other than that's just what these people
It's a power
believe. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. It's just what they believe. You know, it's fucking crazy. Like there was one where it was like in Turkey they have camel fights. Like they force their camels to fight, and then that person gets to take a long journey because their camel won. It's like what the fuck?
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, if you say so, but not for that camel.
I'm wondering how camels fight now.
I mean, they basically try to bite each other in the throat. It's pretty vicious shit. Like it's not
gangster.
it's not funny at all. Like they're literally just trying to rip each other by the throat. Because you've seen a camel's teeth, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like a horse, but for like bigger. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to rip your throat
They,
out. It's not.
They spit,
metal as
right?
fuck.
Or is it
Llamas spit.
Camels spit too.
I was just yeah. Apparently they fart a lot too.
That too.
That's what at least that's what Kangaroo Jack taught me.
Damn vegetarian.
But yeah, all sorts of shit. So I want to play a quick game with you guys. Okay.
All right.
So the concept is. So I fell down a rabbit hole one day where I just started watching a whole bunch of videos of like cryptid ideas. Basically, we'll start. So real quick, I'm just gonna. Do you guys know what the bloop sound is? Have you guys heard about that?
Yes.
I don't.
Okay, so the bloop is a sound that they recorded underwater that the decibel was so outrageously high that there's nothing that could explain it. Like it would have to been like 10 times the size of a blue whale type shit. Like it was really, really loud underwater.
Was it that? I'm sorry.
But they and then
Especially for how
if you want
far
to
they
look up what the
detected
bloop is, you can see kind of what the artist rendition of it was. But basically, they accounted it for an underwater earthquake that caused an ice. Was it an ice tremor or whatever? That basically underwater avalanche, more or less, right? So that's what the sound supposedly was. But artists and people going crazy, they had this image right here in their head. So it's like this ginormous.
It's a low frequency,
Yeah.
high amplitude.
Yeah, I don't know if you can find it to play it. It is actually really scary sounding. Like you imagine you listen to this shit under the water, and it's like holy fuck.
Blue?
So you hear that? It's like a real low.
Are they saying that's supposed to be like an animal?
Well, no, the thing is they say it was like an underwater earthquake that turned into a underwater avalanche or something like that in the mountains or ice or something.
Okay.
But people that have imaginations and shit like that, they turned it into one of those SBC 29 or was it
SCP, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, SCP, whatever. So from the low frequency and everything like that the bloop noise would have been, the idea would have been that it would have had to been like 15, 20 times the size of a blue whale and the noise it makes. So it's on the same frequency. So people got creative and created what they
they're
called
able
the
to
bloop.
like reverse engineer like
Basically,
if
like-
it had to make this noise, it has to be.
Yeah, what size creature would make this big of a noise underwater? And what would it look like? How big would it be?
Blades mom.
Whoa. If you were my brother, he would have shot you in the chest.
That was the second Blades mom joke I've made on this podcast.
The
Number
second?
3, I get a free gunshot.
Everybody gets one.
Jesus. I refuse to use mine because I just don't do that. But so they reverse engineered this giant thing, and then the same thing with this thing called the El Gran Mahi or whatever. That's another one. Have you seen that one?
The what?
El Gran something. It's another one of those ones. Look that one up. You'll pop up El Gran. It starts with the M, but it looks like this giant lamp array thing. And there's actually a video of if like the two of them are about to meet up in the middle of the ocean and fight. Like it's kind of crazy right there. The first
Okay.
one versus Bloop. Pull that one up.
So you're talking some cryptid
There you go.
stuff. What,
Yeah.
what was this game you were talking about?
Well, hold on, because this is where this all came from. So I started getting into these deep, so yeah, that's what they would look like. Okay, so that's the two things. That's what the Bloop would be size comparison to a submarine. You see that submarine swimming, Spencer?
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, so that's how big this thing supposedly would have to be. That was the whole point. The El Gran thing is supposedly was another noise frequency. Damn, this is actually a cool video.
Interesting.
Oh, this is wait a minute. I haven't seen this one. I'm going to have to go watch this one. This one's actually good.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. The ones I was watching just showed them swimming towards each other. But anyway, it kind of got me down this like dark rabbit hole of just looking up these cryptids and certain things and this and that. And it kind of came up with a little game. So, now that
we got our stamp of approval on it.
Oh, okay,
Nice.
cool. So we've seen these. That's the Bloop. That's the El Gran. Whatever. We've all heard of like Slenderman. We've all heard of like the New Jersey Mothman. Things like
the
that.
Jersey Devil?
Yeah, that too. But the New Jersey Mothman, the Florida Man, and other cryptids of that nature. So
And our dad.
and him. But yeah, I'm not going to make that. Anyways,
We're good.
so cut that part out, Spencer. But they so I wanted to come up with a game where maybe we can come up with our own cryptid, our own thing. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to do like a battle royal thing where our cryptids try to fight each other. I'm more curious about to see who could come up with the
Most original?
most original, best myth. Basically like the thing that if you were sitting around the campfire, like, let me tell you a story, kids, about and then why you shouldn't go at certain times of night type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like just kind of
okay.
a thing. So what I want to do is, hold on, let me get my notes real quick.
I kind of have one in mind.
Well, this is how we're going to do it.
It's more of an SCP though.
So here's how I'm wanting to do it. Okay, so we're gonna do a snake draft. Okay, so
Sure.
we're serpentine. We're gonna start one way. We'll play rock paper scissors. See which one of y'all want to start. I'm always in the middle. Can't duplicate traits. Okay, I want us to pick. What we're gonna do is we're gonna each pick a habitat, an environment, a size, a height. We're gonna give it 5 characteristics on its body. And then we're going to say 3 abilities and then 1 major weakness and then a kind of a quick backstory. But that can just be at the end, like, oh, and my guy was blah, 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 blah. Okay? Again, the idea is not for them to be fighting each other. It's more which one would be a more terrifying story. So you could have like your cryptid could be the size of an ant as long as it's got a bunch of features. But is that really going to scare you? You know what I'm saying? Like as long as you can give it a backstory. So, I mean, do y'all want to play rock, paper, scissors to see who gets first pick on this? Or anybody wants to give up first pick? Or
It sounds like you already got yours. I don't.
I have a whole like I made up my own SCP.
You might
is
have
what
to let
I
me see
did.
that paper.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. We could talk about your own if you want to, but that would just not be the game.
I know. I
Yeah.
misunderstood.
Yeah, okay. Well, real quick, so Spencer can get caught up. What would be yours? Like, just your original, and then we'll play the game. Unless you want to use this one for the game and you don't want to give it up. That's up to you, dude.
You know what? I'll hold on to it for another day
Okay.
Okay.
because
So,
mine's kind of 2 things. It's pretty interesting though.
okay.
Then let's
we
rock
can make
the
our own
paper.
SCP sometime.
Now, the only thing I will say we can duplicate is if you want it to be gigantic or like that bloop size thing. Like, we can't. Like, if you're like, hey,
That's fine.
not everybody can be like, I'm giant, I'm middle, I'm small. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only thing I really like size-wise, but I want us to all pick different environments, characteristics, blah, 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 blah. Everything else I said, okay? So, y'all gonna, oh, my bad. Y'all gonna rock, paper, scissors for first pick, or how y'all want to do this? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Damn.
All right, so Spencer, so how do you want to start with environments, habitat? Which you want to go? Size? I mean, just go.
Let's do environment first.
So, what environment does yours take?
The Rocky Mountains.
So it's a Rocky Mountain cryptid,
Like
okay?
specifically the Rocky Mountains.
Ooh.
Yes. I don't think there's any cryptids surrounding that.
I mean, unless you
There
say
might
like
be. In the Rocky
Sasquatch
Mountains.
or something like that,
Mountain
maybe. But
man.
yeah, so I mean, I'm sure there's one out there we don't know, but.
Deliverance people.
All right, I'm gonna take
Rapists.
just because it's the one that terrifies me the most. Rapist. I'm gonna take the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, ocean.
That one's always scary.
Yeah,
Mine will be the city.
the city.
Yeah, urban
Interesting.
sprawls.
Interesting. Okay, so what does your thing hunt? What's its prey?
Mine?
In the city, what does it hunt?
Homeless people.
His cryptid hunts homeless people. Interesting. Okay. Mine specifically hunts people that are artistic on the ocean, trying to find a muse.
Autistic ocean goers.
Artistic ocean goers trying to find a muse. So you could be on the beach, but really, well, no, really, you got to be like in the ocean.
I simplified it and put artists.
Just put anybody with artistic abilities that are in the ocean. If they're in the water and have an artistic thought.
Artists.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Artist.
Everybody's an artist.
So who in the mountains?
everybody-
Who in the mountains is yours hunting?
Those with a huge hubris.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
His ending quote is "Your hubris."
Your hubris
And
is
then
too huge.
Is your demise.
I'm putting hubris.
Just
huge hubris.
like larger than life confidence.
So egotistical people.
Ego. That's good. It hunts the ego.
Okay.
And that's still hubris.
It's
Sure.
it's
Yeah.
really the
Whatever.
same thing,
Ego.
honestly.
Hubris. Okay.
I just like using that word.
So okay. So then let's start getting into what's the size of yours, Spencer?
It's the entire mountain range.
Yours is the size of a mountain. Whatever mountain range it is, it's like possessed a mountain.
James, it is the entire mountain range.
Okay. So his is the size of the mountain range. It is the mountain range. All right.
It's almost like a golem. It's
It
almost like a
is the mountain
golem.
range.
It is the mountain range. It's like a golem.
Being too goofy about this. Mine is the size.
I'm not trying to actually.
I just because see something like that. I mean, I don't know. Okay.
Dude, imagine if like something like that big, we can't fathom something that big.
Yeah, but the thing is like you just wouldn't get on any mountain. Period.
Can I change it?
Yeah.
Okay. Can it take the form of one of those mountains? And
Like a hill. Like
it's
it's one of the mountains.
mountain, and it just kind of transforms out of it. Is what I'm trying
Is
to
it
get.
Like kind of like
basically
a
Earth
golem type
elemental?
shit.
It's like a golem. That's
Okay.
really
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
at.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So mine, I want to basically be the size of double a great white. Like,
Okay.
So it's not like stupid big, but it's definitely big enough to be terrifying. No, you know what, let me scratch that. I want it to be like the size of what a megalodon was probably conceived of. The new studies. Like I want it to be big enough to be able to eat a whole the 150 feet one
Oh, shit.
or the 120 or whatever it was. But yeah, I want it to be big enough to like destroy a big ship. Like, I want it to be big. So in the city, what you got?
Mine is. Man, mine's a little difficult to explain
Okay.
because it's like a. It's like a reflection monster, so it's like a mimic.
Interesting.
Right? So
Okay.
it's in all the reflections in the windows.
we found a
the,
D&D.
the
Okay.
cars.
No, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's
That's
cool.
The
That's
fucking mirrors and shit like that. And
interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
varies?
Yeah, no, I mean that's cool. Reflection.
Varies?
In the reflections.
In the reflection varies.
yeah. That's cool. Varies in reflections. Okay.
22 minutes, by the way.
For what? Oh, okay.
Really, we need to wrap it up in 10.
No, we will.
Cool. Anyways,
Okay. So then let's just start getting into characteristics. What's it look like? Start with its head. What's its head? You. It's on you.
Oh, me?
Yeah,
Me?
yeah.
Okay. So that depends on what's looking at it.
So the reflection.
Depending on its prey.
So is your thing basically so we can just kind of bypass you and me and Spencer can go back and forth? Is your look is strictly like the reflection, like what is looking back
is that
at
like
it?
a shadow monster?
yeah, okay. Do you want me to actually make something?
That's
of what
coming-
it looks like?
It doesn't have to necessarily be, but like let's just say what
Have you
comes out
seen
of that.
Dad in
Dad.
Codename Kids Next Door?
Oh, yeah.
Father, that's his name. Father.
Yeah, like the Black Shadow Man?
Yeah, the Black
Yeah.
Shadow.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay,
So
okay,
it's basically that, just more sinister.
okay, okay.
But it takes the reflection of what it's hunting.
Usually
Okay.
human size, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
usually human
Okay,
size.
human size. Okay, I get you. Okay. First trait of mine is I'm going to, since it's in the ocean, it is going to have a it's like the shark on Sea of Thieves blade. How it's like it's technically a shark, but it's real
Yeah.
gnarly.
It's scarred up and looking like it's been
And
fighting.
big crazy teeth and like all
It's
different.
a Scottish shark.
Definitely more fins than what it needs to. That's what I want. I want it to definitely be shark based.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Mine will take the form of any one of those mountains. It's like a spirit that
So is mine the only one that's going to have a different look?
Probably.
Well, I'm also kind of wanting to go more like
I mean, you said ocean, so
Yeah,
you
you-
are going to have a different look by nature.
That's fair.
I was thinking more like yes, like it's a golem, like the mountain itself is just a part of it,
Mm-hmm.
and it can come out of the earth itself, and maybe it's like a gorilla or an elephant or something. I was really kind of getting the idea of like Breath of the Wild with the elephant one.
Gotcha.
But like it can take any of those forms of like any of those animals that are out there, and it's, the monster is like a small spirit. It just transfers itself into any of its like it pilots itself, right?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No, I get you.
So like it could be a small mountain, it could be a massive mountain, but all of those mountains are ploys of the thing that it can pilot, and it comes out of the earth
Oh, okay.
itself.
So
It's an
I mean,
Earth Elemental Gundam.
so then I guess we.
That's a really good way to put it.
Okay,
Actually,
I get
yes.
it. I get it. Okay, so then let me just go ahead and describe what mine is in my head, then, so y'all can understand. So, like, here's my idea. So it like swims around like a shark. It's got way more fins than what it needs to. It kind of has like the Sharpedo look from Pokemon crossed with the the shark from Sea of Thieves I was telling you about. You know, with all the gnarly scars and everything. It's got tentacles like an octopus flowing out the back end of it. Here's the trick, though. On the fins, it has a small little speaker that speaks negative things from the water. So while you're out there trying to get your muse, what it's actually doing is, your art sucks. Your music isn't good
got
for
on the me
nobody.
for making the goofy one.
Well, I mean, like, you know, it still eats you at the end. Once your spirit's broken, that's when it eats you. It waits for you to want to jump into the water because it's depressed you to the point you're like, fuck this, and then it just eats you up then. That's how it hunts.
This joke is going to be for my nerds out there. It's basically his tail basically casts vicious mockery.
That's basically what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Just starts talking shit to the point where you just keep going out to the ocean and basically want to fall in. Yeah,
You got 99 problems and they all bitches.
You got 99 problems and you deserve them all.
You got toe
shit like that. Yeah.
fungus.
I don't know. I was trying to go more for like the ambitious type of person that would go into the mountain range to try to climb the tallest mountain.
Yeah.
It's like, if you really want to be this high up to the heavens, we'll get you this high up to the heavens, and
That's cool.
It comes out of the earth and it's like it keeps going up
But see, like that's the thing.
until it suffocates itself.
My thing feeds on the ambition and ego of the art people or people looking for muses, and then it literally feeds and eats on you once you've given up on life. So it breaks you down to a point of like, yeah, it's kind of funny and comical, but it's like a siren. Over here, baby, and then you crash into the rock and get eaten alive, you know, type shit. Like,
It's fucking gnarly. What kind of artist would be out on the ocean, though?
I mean, back in the day, apparently all of them, they all had a boat.
I mean, they were on the coast at least.
That's what I'm saying. And that's the thing. You don't have to, like, it calls to you to talk shit.
Oh, okay.
And then it brings you, like I said, siren.
So it's
then
like
you-
a mega siren. Megalodon siren.
Basically is what I'm looking for,
It's
yes.
like, I'm hungry and you're the chosen one.
Yes, come out to the ocean to be
Save me
amused for
from my
art.
hunger.
So is this like just a thought experiment, or is there like an end game on this?
Yeah, I
No,
think it's
just, you know, just a thought
I like
experiment.
that. That's cool.
And then at the end, you know, if we have any more comments, they can choose to see whose would be scariest, you know, whatever. But yeah, so what's yours? Oh, the weakness to mine is just overwhelming ego. Like if you cannot be broken down, it can eat you. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was the topic there? I got kind of lost in your sauce.
Well, it turned into like appearance, but you've already explained your appearance. So just explain what your thing's weakness is at this point.
My weakness, or that thing's weakness.
Like what it's hunting for, how it hunts, and then what its weakness is.
Okay, so it doesn't really hunt for like physical things. It just leaves them crazy, which is why all the homeless are all like, the fucking tin hat shit,
So it eats
like
their
the hot
sanity.
dogs, all the
It's like a
processed.
toxin.
Yeah, that's crazy.
exactly.
It eats sanity.
Exactly.
That's crazy. It's
Exactly.
mercury. You got mercury?
It's basically that.
Your cryptid's mercury.
That's
More or
kind of
less.
cool though.
That's
I like
crazy,
that.
yeah.
And it kind of spreads insanity, and the more things that are under it, the stronger it gets.
So how do you weaken it?
how do
So
you
it's
weaken
weakness,
it?
yeah.
How do I do this? How do I want to make this go? Do we want to make it dark, or do we want to make it a little happier?
I mean, mine was literally overwhelming ego. So
Okay.
the thing that Spencer's hunts is the thing that gets away from mine. I need doubt for artists that are looking for a muse. That's kind of what they're looking for.
I guess strong-willed individuals.
So
would
that's
be
just
its
all of the weakness. Yeah,
Yeah,
just strong-willed. Yeah.
Like people who are like, the fuck? Hey, motherfucker, I see you over there. You better fuck off.
Just because I'm
Like that
homeless
kinda
don't mean you're
shit.
gonna talk that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
So what's your weakness to yours? If they just give up on the fucking
Oh, the
mountain?
ones that are on drugs. There we go. That's funny.
That's
Yeah,
how they
it's
battle it.
Drugs.
Yeah, the
That's how they
drugs.
battle it.
So
He doesn't have a problem on heroin. He's fighting the creature.
Yeah, and the only reason it's attacking homeless people is because it's intelligent, right? Because
Right.
if you attack people who are going to be missed,
Ah,
It gets attention.
Okay.
and I was thinking about like SCPs and shit like that, and that's how it would avoid the SCP Foundation, if you will.
Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
there's that.
Mine's just too big to hunt in the
Yeah.
SPC Foundation.
Yeah.
And then if they get creative enough, they'll drain their creative and eat them. So they just leave it alone.
So I'm going to actually skip to the legend of why,
But what's yours weak against?
but it'll tie into this
oh,
too.
okay. Go ahead.
It's actually tied to the idea of if a tree falls in the woods, would you hear it?
Oh
Mm.
So its weakness is large groups of people doing the expedition. together, climbing that mountain. Together.
Like pushing each other.
The hubris of it is only correlated to one person, so it targets individuals.
So if you're egotistical enough to do it on your own,
All
they'll
on your
come
own.
at you. Yeah.
Yeah, so that
Dude,
like the whole
that's
legend.
crazy.
It's interesting.
I can imagine that one guy who always breaks off from the group being the first one.
Yeah.
It's always, and it's like, you want to be this close to God, we'll take you to him.
It's like,
Damn.
where's
Yeah,
Dave?
I like that line.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go find Dave. If you all fuckers want to be here and just be okay with it, I'm going on
Dude,
my own. And then it's a cycle. That's a good movie.
You're a creature, Dave. Yeah, for real though. Like in The Walking Dead or whatever, the dude Gabriel, he's got a line where they're like, "You're a preacher. Have you ever? What does God tell you to do? Does God tell you to hang me?" And it's like, God told me to hang you a long time ago. I chose not to listen. That's why you're here for suffering. And it's like, damn. It's like, geez.
That goes hard.
And the dude's supposed to be a preacher. You know, Gabriel, the
That's
dude.
a 40K style answer there.
It's like the guy's like, why ain't you chose to hang me? God told me to hang you a long time ago. I ignore it to choose to keep you alive to make you suffer. It's like, damn.
I kind of want to make take stories about all three of these creatures.
Okay,
Right.
so
all three of these are pretty fucking cool.
So what's the short story before? So how did yours come into existence, and then how did the legend spread, Blade? What was the first? Let's say the first victim story, right? Like how it became a legend and how all this and that.
Let's see.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Let's call it an old Creole thing.
So Louisiana-ish.
Yeah,
Cajun.
It's like a Cajun thing. It's a Cajun thing about reflections and losing your soul.
Okay. So what was like the first victim? So like, what's the backstory? Like, I kind of have a backstory for yours, but I don't want to do it for you, if that makes sense. But I can tell you what I imagine.
Some gambler down in New Orleans.
That's exactly what I was fucking thinking. Yeah.
Okay, backstory: some gambler
On one of those old school paddle boats. It's one of those old. Yeah.
Exactly. He made a deal with some
Mark Twain
voodoo
Day and
lady
shit.
that was down there, and he traded his soul forever servitude to whatever fucking thingy, right? And so he ended up losing. He got killed, and yeah. Or wait, no. He ended up winning too much, and you know how that goes. Whenever you win too much in a fucking old school style casino paddle boat,
They kill you.
you kind of get
Thrown
knocked off the boat. Yeah. Oh, he just fell off the boat. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
Darn.
exactly.
Damn
and then that individual
Must have ran against
died.
Putin.
Yeah, that individual died, and he's collecting the intelligence and mental capacity of the people.
Okay, Spencer, you want to give us your little quick backstory before we have to cut this out?
It's literally Icarus after the end of its story. It's going close to the sun, crashes back to Earth.
It brings you back down.
Yeah, it's literally Icarus. Like, it's literally him, the spirit of Icarus.
Oh,
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, the spirit of Icarus.
Yes. It's cursed.
He told his son not to do that shit, and he didn't listen. So everybody
It's cursed
interesting.
forever.
It makes it
Interesting.
even better if you make an actual story about this. It should be the tallest point on Earth.
Yeah. So Everest or whatever.
So that way you can have that fucking Icarus lure to it. Like,
Yeah.
I
So,
want to
like,
be the
there's
one, like you mentioned earlier.
Like, the monster
Interesting.
literally is a spirit. That's all it is. But it can manipulate the heights of the mountains around it. That spirit is Icarus.
Kind of makes me think
It's
of
like the human spirit is the fucking, because like, you know, humans are always wanting to push beyond what we can reach and
Right.
break
Yeah.
Break the limits.
conceive.
Yeah.
Can I just say, isn't that cool?
I like
That
it.
is
That's
pretty
kinda-
cool.
I
I just
That's
thought of it. I was
pretty
like,
I thought Blades was pretty legit, but then that shit, I was like, damn, I'm gonna have to. I'm having to revamp mine on the go because mine was gonna be just a big fish. You know what I'm saying?
Mine's a big fish. I got this
okay.
There's a
wonderful
place
thing.
for like the creepy though. Creepy is unexplainable.
Like
Sometimes
just
you
a ginormous fish
you
that
don't
wants your
have to
soul.
Explain creepy though.
So okay, but I want to give it a backstory. So this is how it was formed. It was originally a super egotistical artist that was like a ladies' boy, playboy type thing. Wrote music, wrote plays, did everything artistic, whatever. Was going on a big voyage. The boat was eaten by a giant shark. His ego and willpower was so strong that he possessed the shark because he was like, nothing could kill me. I'm the greatest of all time.
He
So
was
now-
Ichigo Kurosaki.
More or less.
I don't get that, but okay.
So like his ego possessed the shark and deformed it, and now anytime he feels there's any kind of artistic ability or creative thought on the waters that's not him, that could potentially be greater than what he did, he hunts it. So like it's literally like a jealousy ego thing. Like he doesn't want anything to be potentially greater than him artistically or creatively. So he makes you doubt yourself and then eats you to take you off. Like basically when they come. Yeah.
Some say that his siren powers was the reason why Van Gogh cut his ear off.
That was exactly
There you
what
go.
it was. Yeah. And why Beethoven went deaf
And
because
why
he couldn't.
Salvador Dali went crazy.
Every time
And why
Beethoven.
Stevie Wonder is blind.
Hold on. Yeah, actually, every time Beethoven would walk near the ocean, he would hear the signs crawl. So he actually stabbed his own ears. Every time Stevie would walk near the coast, every time Stevie would walk near the coast, he would see a beautiful sunset and a wave of a beautiful woman calling him out. And he knew this legend in the story, so he had to eliminate that. Same with Ray Charles. He purposely did it so he didn't have to tempt himself with the coast monster.
God damn.
Guys,
This is cool.
guys, we need to refine these stories a little bit
Like,
and
Actually make a story.
and
Yeah.
then send them to the SCP people and see if they accept it or not.
They got to call us for our stories.
This may or may not like get on the podcast, but I kind of have a short story thing I want to do something with on my own personal shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I make that and send it to y'all, and can I make other ones like it in the same vein? Because it's going to be like set to music too.
I mean, I want to see what you're talking about, but yeah. I want to see what you're talking about, but yeah. I mean,
Right.
yeah.
Do we get the voice act? Do we get the voice act?
I think
fuck
you get
yeah.
to like speak your own story at the very least.
Cool.
So we got to actually write down the story to it.
Dude,
That's
I love
interesting.
doing this shit.
Okay.
You don't know.
No, we can do that. We can do that.
I know. I see a little twinkle in your eye right
This
now.
is
You're
fun,
all
man.
like, dude, these stories.
Don't go near any large bodies of water. My thing will come at you to create
mountains.
Good thing we're all homed.
Yeah, no
Because
shit.
we'd have to worry about reflections.
Well, gentlemen, and anybody else watching, I think they will have to go ahead and call that one a wrap. I've been James.
I'm Blade. Always, forever.
Baba Booey.